TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Living in Your Purpose. I am Dr. Pat. Today, we are just going to have conscious, purposeful conversation. Today, I have two remarkable former guests, actually three. One will be coming on live. So, let me introduce. We have Mr. Crystal Perry, Melanated Pearl.
Hey world, it's your girl, the Melanated Pearl, bringing that black light to things that aren't quite right. Happy Tuesday.
And then we have none other than author Mercury Rising with the book Men in My Bed.
That says it all.
All right. So, we have a lot going on. There's so much been going on in our community, in our world. It's so much, so we're just going to dive right in. Once 15 minutes is over, we'll actually be coming live with Miss Juva Threat Alexander. And, of course, we were supposed to have none other than Miss Charmaine Bradbury with Honey Wash Your Face, but we know how life is and things happen. So we're going to have her back again to discuss purpose. Okay, where do we get started? I think let's get started dealing with number 45 and the rally in Tulsa that he thought was going to be over 1 million people. So, Miss Melanated Pearl, what do you think about that?
I actually think that this is an opportunity that shows how disconnected he actually is from the youth. My understanding is that because of technology, a lot of youth actively, as a form of protest, actually signed up to actually feed the president's ego in the idea that people were actually engaged and interested in coming to the rally. Of course, they did not show up, which of course reflected the low numbers. But I think there's having a disconnect from the youth, disconnect from what seems to be happening right now. And again, the fact that he held that rally in Tulsa with the history of the way that, Black Wall Street was destroyed, the fact that it had to be moved to the day after Juneteenth, just continues to show to me that the current 45 is not focused on the needs and interests that would serve me and people who are important to me.
I like that. Miss Mercury Rising, what do you think about the statement that number 5 said, he made Juneteenth famous?
Well, I really don't watch the news, very little social media, but I did catch that. I thought that was amazing. That he could even want those words to roll off his lips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And somebody printed it.
Really?
That he said it. It's like, what?
He is a complete embarrassment.
He is.
But do you think this is purpose driven?
I think, for his own self-fulfilling purpose. One of the things I think, as a leader, sometimes you have to really focus on those people who give examples of what not to do.
Right.
I think our current, presidential leader gives us examples throughout the day of things that we should not do, what is not truly leadership, and continuously to self-serve. I don't know if it's the purpose of the office. Definitely does not help for the purpose of what I feel America is, but he does fulfill the purpose of making himself feel important, Grandice.
I like that. Do you feel that, Mercury Rising, do you feel that prophecy is purpose?
Oh, yes, of course it is.
So he's fulfilling prophecy.
His own self-prophecy.
Wow. That
Yep.
is, we have never, ever in the history of leaders had a leader so,
Disconnected.
ooh, he doesn't care about the people. He doesn't care about the elderly. He doesn't care about the blacks. Anything that he does, he has a motive.
Yep.
And that motive usually is to make himself feel better, look better, and actually deceive American people to make them think that he's actively doing something that he isn't, which is leading.
Okay, we do know Esau was a great pretender and a deceiver.
The great
Lucifer has deceived the whole world. Yes, he has, constantly, every day. So, we'll talk about Rayshard Brooks. Rest in peace, sir.
May he rest in peace.
Today was his funeral, and it was a beautiful funeral. I was watching CBS 46, and I was reading some of the comments because a lot of his friends and stuff were saying, hey, he was a good guy. Rest in peace, you're going to be missed. And then you had the negative. You had the negative come on to say, what made him a good guy? The fact that he fought an officer, or the fact that he beat, they tried to pull all the negative when the police officers have already killed him. So immediately I had to say something because I was hot. And I said, I'm sure you guys are Christians, and you say you believe in God, but who art thou to judge another man's servant? And the last I checked, you're going to be judged by the same measurement. So, Melanated Pearl, what are your thoughts on that?
First, I would just say, giving condolences to the family. Specifically, the thing that touched me about this case is that 3 little girls are going to grow up without a father. And that's near and dear to my heart because I was a daddy's girl and I lost my father. And just, went through my second Father's Day without him. And so, experiencing that at my age and being here for 4 decades, and the idea of these young girls growing up without that level of protection, that altar parent to actually be a part of their life, to walk them down the aisle, to go to graduations, they are absolutely being robbed of that.
Yes,
when you look at the situation in itself, I don't think any one mistake, any bad thought and judgment should cost a person their life. And so, I don't think it's something that you can justify. I think it just continues to show the state of where we are and how the lives of people who look like me, melanated people, are not valued. And when something like this happens, that this is the only time when we don't stop and really look at what happened. Let's look at the hearts and minds of the people. Let's actually think about bias. We immediately try to tear down the character, find any flaws in the person who's victimized. And now we're finding out that even though, and again, I have much respect for police officers, they are humans, which means when we actually open up their backgrounds and look at their characters, you find flaws as well.
Exactly.
So actually highlighting the mistakes that we make on our human journey says more to me about people's character than it does about Rayshard Brooks. So again, may he rest in peace. I do think Atlanta has some work to do.
Yes.
And I do even say here, more than race, the idea of systematic oppression can be played out, because when you are putting on the blue, if those people who are even identified as African Americans seem to forget their skin that they're in and actually take over a mindset that actually criminalizes children, people of color, and dehumanizes people. And I think that's what we saw. And there's just no justification for it.
Okay. Ms. Mercury,
Wow.
what are your thoughts?
She said enough for me yet. Wow, that was passionate. Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Before I forget, Miss Crystal Perry, we were talking about something the other day. We were talking about buying black and showing the buying power of black. Now, if you notice, Miss Crystal Perry,
Yes.
busy buying black, and she doesn't do business with anyone other than blacks, and that's just real, because that's where your growth is, that's where your power. A lot of people don't want to do business with our skin color. Mercury Rising, what do you think about that?
Well, that's a little deep. Some people don't want to do business with our skin color, and I think that's probably based on treatment or the quality of the product.
Okay. I like that answer. So, here's my next question. If we feel like we don't get the better quality with our own, we don't get good business, good customer service, what can we do to train our black people to serve us so we can reach out to our own? Every nation, they buy from themselves. Hispanics, they buy from themselves. Asians, they buy from themselves. We are the only culture that we got a problem. We think someone's store down the street ice is colder than the brother right here ice. We think somebody's produce is fresher down the street than the brother right here. And that has to stop. That really has to stop. And you know what? We talk about these things, but it's coming a time now we got to figure out what we're going to do about it. What's the answer? We can't keep saying, oh, somebody need to do this, somebody need to do that. No, somebody need to step up, be different, and cause a change. And I think that's what Miss Crystal Perry is doing with Melanated Pearl.
Absolutely. So again, I would say I have had bad customer service experiences throughout, but I've had a bad customer service experience at McDonald's, and I've gone back to McDonald's.
Right.
So it just breaks my heart that when black entrepreneurship shows any error, then oftentimes, especially by people of our own, black people, we are automatically cut off. So another shirt that you might see me wearing is Start Black Over. As I tell people, in this time with Juneteenth, I purposely are actively seeking to spend my dollars in the black community. So when I am looking to do anything, again, and everything I would say in the metro Atlanta area short of a gas station and a grocery store, you can find a black entrepreneur, and I also seek specifically to look for black female entrepreneurs. But from the person who designed this shirt to the person who created these buttons, there are entrepreneurs out here that are actively sharing their talents. Seeking them out. If you have a problem with customer service with a black entrepreneur, have the conversation. And again, as entrepreneurs, we have to be willing to, one, listen, but have the emotional intelligence to actually be able to listen to what the problem is, because sometimes it is in the customer service experience. It's not in the actual product. It could be you having a bad day. You didn't have a response that was quick enough on social media. Because things are forever changing in technology, there are a lot of missteps that can actually cause a negative customer service experience. I personally, as a nonprofit, try to seek out those Black female entrepreneurs who I feel have a quality product, who are probably working another job and hustling on the side, and actually trying to make them a household name and get them out, because I have found that people will absolutely buy Black. We want to support Black female entrepreneurship, but people won't always do the research or vet their money and being the first. So one of the things we do at Melanated Pearl is I'll be the first. I actively am seeking Black female entrepreneurs. If you know someone, DM me. But the thing is, we have to start actively putting dollars back in the Black community. And I will say, buying Black does not mean getting a discount.
No.
Also understanding that in some cases you might pay a little bit more because that business partner, that person is not Walmart yet.
Right.
They are not getting everything at wholesale prices. A lot of people are literally in their home doing these things by hand. So when you're supporting small businesses, you're not supporting big corporations. You're supporting putting food on somebody's table, dance lessons. In my case, as I just got through paying tuition, you are helping families put their children through college. So when we actually think about it in that aspect, and again, you do want a quality product, and I've been blessed in that the vendors that I've worked with have been able to produce a quality product, and when I have not received that, I've been able to have a conversation that hopefully push them, their brand, and their product forward, not to just critique.
Okay. Ms. Mercury Rising, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts, I'm going to tag on
Melanated
Pearl.
Yes!
I think the part about the conversation is key, because if you don't know what you're doing wrong, you won't be able to correct it. So that's part of customer service too. So if you got bad customer service, you let them know right then, can we tone down it a little bit? I'm going to pull you to the side because I work in customer service, so I want to let you know how I should be perceived as a customer buying your product. So, yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to take a break. It's time to pay some bills, and we will be back. I am Dr. Pat.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? You have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better.
So many Black lives incarcerated. So many Black lives silenced. When will we stop the madness?
Hello and welcome back to Living in Your Purpose. I am Dr. Pat. So we've been discussing purposeful consciousness and the things that's going on in our community. We're just now being joined by Miss Juva Threet Alexander, who is the author of From the Pole to the Pulpit. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I wish you were here in person. You are.
I
know. Yes, ma'am. So, where we left off, we're talking about buying black. I mean, we did it before. Black Wall Street was powerful. We only bought from ourselves, and I want to know, how can we do that again?
You're wondering how we can buy black again?
Yes, ma'am, and be as powerful, because our spending money is incredible.
Yep.
We get $1, we find it somewhere to spend it. So if we're going to buy black and buy for our own, that's going to make our buying power even more powerful, and then they have to do business with us and stop treating us as if we're a statistic. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that it would definitely make an impact. Because, the economy itself, it says a lot. That almighty dollar says a lot. And I think that it's been proven before. It's happened before. So it's not like it's impossible, but it starts with a conversation such as we're having. And in addition to that, you have to have a made-up mind that this is what you're going to do.
Absolutely.
And so I think once everybody kind of gets on board and be determined that, hey, this is what we're going to do, then it's most certainly, it's definitely available to us. I think, though, sometimes we may not have as many resources out here as we need. You know, you think about all the things that we spend money on, and how many of Black businesses are, you know, that are currently serving in those areas that, you know, that we need. We know that we need food. We don't necessarily want to always go out to dine out, but, you know, what about our grocery stores? You know, I guess we have to start where we are, but we have to have the conversation, realize the importance or the impact that it can make, and be determined to do just that. I know of different groups that are putting information out there and kind of gathering who does what, even down to like where you're purchasing your coffee. I'm a coffee drinker, you know, and I know that, you know, where I've been spending my money, my dollars purchasing coffee, I was kind of thrilled that I saw that there was a young lady that has a Black-owned business, and this is what she does. She has a flourishing coffee business. I wish that I had her information with me right at this very moment, but it just goes to show you're going to have to research who has what, who's doing what, you know.
I agree 100%. One of our guests here, we have Miss Melanated Pearl, Miss Crystal Perry, and that's her initiative. Finding incredible people that's doing the same thing and purchasing from them. Now, we were discussing also with Mercury Rising, the author of the book Men in My Bed. We're sitting here discussing how do we teach those business owners that don't give great customer service and then cause people to say, see, I can't even buy from my own people because see this. So what is the plan of action? You know, we can talk all day, but we need a plan of action at this point. What do you think about that?
You mean, okay, so your question is, how do we teach Black owners of businesses how to provide customer service?
No, how do we educate the Black consumer that has a business and does not give great customer service? They give half the product is cheap, and then it's said, oh, I can't buy from my own people. What is the answer and the solution to that? Because we can't stay that way. We can't think that someone else's ice is colder than the Black-owned store over there. We can't continue to do that. So at this point, it's action. Purpose is action. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
Purpose is action. However, because I feel that I'm a Black-owned business. I'm a Black owner of a business, and I think we should. And I had this conversation the other day with someone, because basically, you know, people do say, oh, well, I can't buy from my own people because of this and because of that. And we had a real open dialogue as to why people say that. And they're like, well, either the prices are, you know, extremely inflated. You know, maybe their overhead is extremely high. Maybe renting a facility or where, you know, or equipment or what have you, maybe a little bit higher, or even trying to get, you know, those businesses trying to get loans for their businesses. So therefore they have to, you know, make their prices a little bit more expensive for the consumers. And then customer service is just customer service. And I know that everybody isn't just kind of being nitpicky. You know what I mean? I personally, if I have a choice, I'd much rather spend my dollars at a Black-owned business or a woman-owned business.
Right.
That's my personal preference. However, we can't. You know what? I wouldn't expect someone to necessarily spend their money with me to edit their book. If I know that I'm not providing quality customer service. And I mean, I personally believe in doing everything in excellence, with the spirit of excellence anyway, but
Yes,
everybody doesn't feel the same way. And so I can understand why people may feel like that, and I do think that we have to give maybe a second chance. And you know what I really believe, though? I believe that as we continue to have conversations and Black business owners are truly hearing, not just hearing, but they're truly hearing and listening to what it is that the consumers are saying and what it is that we're desiring, I believe that they would adjust their business practices. I think that they would step it up a notch, especially right now when they know so many consumers are looking to spend their money and would love to be able to spend it on it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's also important that the entrepreneur understands their target market. I think, we get lumped into umbrella, but there's diversity even in the Black community. We like to talk about those of us who consider ourselves bougie. Like, we like a certain amount of glitter and sparkle. I mean, as a pearl girl, you can always probably get my eye if you got some kind of pearl in your, motif. So actually knowing your audience and knowing what you can provide so that you don't get caught up with dollar signs. Because I would say, I think the other thing with a lot of entrepreneurs when they're first starting out, if you cannot turn over a 200-piece order in 10 days, you need to communicate that with the customers. If you're a solopreneur where you are the face, you are the, social media, you're the website designer, you have to actually build in capacity for you to actually get all those things done, live your life, not, lose your mind, but also be able to hone your craft. And I think that's the part where we skip, where, you want to be responsible to the consumer, but you don't want to say, I'm not able to do that at this time. Or, and cannot stress this enough, you might start in your community, you might start in your family, but more than likely your friend and your family are not your target audience. Right. So be willing to move from there quickly. I would say in our 2 years, and I'm very young as a nonprofit, a lot of my support has come from external people who I've never met, yes. Who actually have given me a clear pathway because they don't have any preconceived notions about knowing me as an educator, and they actually just allow the organization to live its mission. But my responsibility as the founder of the organization is to communicate where we are, our timelines, and our capacity, so that we are, in fact, as you said, a purpose. We are giving actionable items to connect it to our purpose, and not just doing things so that we can check things off or say that we're popular. So in the world of social media, you can't just do it for the likes. You gotta actually have some substance to what you are doing, even if that's a product.
Okay, guys, we're going to have to go to break. It's time to pay some bills.
Pay some bills.
We will be back. I am Dr. Pat.
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com, and we thank you for your time.
back. This is Living in Your Purpose. I am Dr. Pat. And once again, I have 3 amazing, remarkable women here with me. We know their story, we know about their book, but we're on here talking about purpose, consciousness, purposeful consciousness, and the things that's going on in our community, and what is the plan of action? Because one thing I am tired of is somebody constantly saying, okay, what we're going to do. Come on now, it's going to take someone to stand up and be a leader. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, our people have always needed a leader in their lives, and that's why they ended up wandering in the wilderness for so long. And they still have that wilderness mentality. So we got to break that chain and show them how they're powerful beyond. So, Ms. Mercury Rising.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you think some of the plans of actions or things that we can do to motivate our people, motivate especially our young people? Because if you notice, everybody want an eyelash line, they want a hairline, but they don't even know how to break down and talk about the hair. Are they selling the hair with tracks, without tracks? I mean, there's so much in this hair industry that you can do, but all they can tell you is, oh, I got Peruvian, I got some Remy, I got some this and that, and that's all the nature of. They have not researched the industry, talk about the industry, talk about the different hair types, what hair would look good on whom. Talk about your facial structures, and will you look good in curly hair? Would you look good in straight hair? So these are things that need to be done, and I think since we have this platform, maybe we need to do a workshop.
And that's what I was just thinking, not just a workshop, but if you have daughters, you have sons, your daughter's going to want the lashes, the hair, even if it's their natural. So if you're going to start at home before they get to the business, because some people just go straight from the living room to the business with no training in between. So I'm going the same way I act in my living room, going to be the same way I behave in my business. Because I haven't had that period where I'm building on skills that's going to help me to get through to serve my customers in the best way possible.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So awareness is going to be the key. And I don't know if that's going to mean that say for instance the church taking initiative and having those workshops in church, because a lot of people do come together on Sunday. A lot of teachings does occur in the church other than the Bible.
That's
So,
true.
Yeah.
And it really needs, I mean, we need hygiene classes.
Soft skills.
For real. How to dress, how to look like a lady, how to not sell something else but to sell your product. So Ms. Juba, what do you think about that?
You mean as far as conducting some sort of workshop?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm all for that. And you kind of piqued my interest, especially when you mentioned about how to dress and things like that. I have been in, of course, you know my background, you know my story.
Yes,
and so one of the things that I have to keep in mind, especially when you're dealing with people that are coming out of a sex-based business or what have you, that may have other skills. But I wanted to create some sort of platform for them to be able to teach them simple things, how to put together a resume,
yes,
how to dress, how to go, how to actually, what do you look like when you go to an interview? Things that seem really basic to us, but a lot of people, you just don't know what you don't know.
Right.
When I volunteered at a women's home, so to speak, or a transitional home for women that basically just kind of came out of prison. And a lot of them, it's the only thing that they've kind of known forever has been drugs and crime.
Right.
And I know firsthand, I had one young lady who had never had a real live job. And she was and I showed her how we can put together a resume. Yes, you can have a resume because you can utilize the skills that you've learned. Unfortunately, she learned she learned some, fortunately she learned skills, but the majority of her skills that she learned were right there in prison. But she's a really good cook. And long story short, we put together her resume. She interviewed at McDonald's. Right now, she manages the McDonald's. And that was really, really big, you know?
Yes, that's big.
So we have to educate and we have to realize and kind of meet people where they are.
Right.
Because sometimes, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. And so it's up to us, especially as, I don't know how old everybody is, but when you have learned something, I believe that it is our responsibility to pass it on, just like we teach our children. You know, my kid is 15 years old, and she has a resume. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it starts with us. It starts with us. We have to be our sisters and our brothers' keepers. And we have to
come on now.
them.
Yes,
we
we
have
do.
to teach them.
Absolutely.
I would say, and then
absolutely.
again, the actionable item would be one of the things that my board is actively talking about is what we're calling professional pearl prep. So the idea is that, and again, I'm probably speaking ahead of time, but we're thinking about September once kids go back to school, but it is very much the idea is what you're talking about. Across the metro Atlanta area, we are thinking about setting up stations to actually get people professionally prepped to go back to work. So I'm actively seeking out people who, dress for success, who actually provide clothing for people who are transitioning from careers, transitioning, even, when I say transition, if you're coming out of the military going into the career, if you're coming out of prison going in career, if you are an older person actually transitioning to a new career, all of those transitions require a rebrand of some sort, and actually taking people through the process of not only developing a resume, but actually thinking about their jobs and a job description so they can pull out skill sets and talents that actually position them for other work.
Yes.
So one of the things we definitely, and I'm going to be reaching out to you because I have Dr. Pat, and I heard you say resumes, but think about if we could have a couple of places where people could have resume stations where somebody actually worked with you on developing a resume. Or a LinkedIn profile, not to age myself or others, but a paper resume is not going to get you much.
No.
And right now, because of COVID-19, you have people who may have had a steady job 7, 18, 19, 17 years. And now you've been furloughed. Now you been laid off. Now you only got polo shirts and you need an interview suit. You need mock interview questions. So it's definitely, and I'm so glad to hear that because it just reaffirms conversations we've been having at the organization about how do we help women, because as you know, as I say, who's going to save them when they open things up? Who's going to lead the way? Black women. And so how are we going to make sure that they are prepared to, one, negotiate for themselves?
Yes.
Because we can talk about equal pay as well. I do want to pause and say today marks 102 days since Breonna Taylor was murdered in her home.
Oh, my God.
Justice for Breonna Taylor.
Please.
So, as we just talk about protecting black women as an organization, nonprofit, Melanated Pearl, one of the things we want to do for the passionate, engaged activists who are resisting limits is actually to professionally prep them to get back and do what we do best, which is to bring everything back together.
I love that. I love that. Miss Melanated Pearl, you spoke about, is it called Start Black? Or
Start Black Over.
I love that.
Yes.
Come on, tell me more about that.
So again, every day, as you said, the black dollar, the thing that makes the black dollar so powerful is that we spend it. Our money flows. When we protest, the reason that these boycotts and things are so powerful because they are felt immediately.
Yes.
Because even making 63 cents on the dollar, black women are out here spending at 63 cents.
Yes, we are.
But you have to make those people who we're spending our dollars with appreciate our money. So since we're spending money anyway, the idea is to start black. Look in your community. Are there black entrepreneurs? Are there black businesses? Are there black networks that actually you could invest in? And then if you've had a misfortune, start black over. Don't allow one experience with one black entrepreneur now steal those dollars away from the black community. Because I will say that being busy buying back is a revolution in itself.
Oh, yes, it is.
So I purposely want to place my dollars in the pockets of people who look like me, have my interests in mind, and even specifically for my organization, Black Female Entrepreneurship. And so in everything, as I'm thinking, I want to start black, and then I want to do it over and over and over again. We have to continue to recycle those dollars in our community as well.
So when are those shirts coming out?
I have some in the van, so if you ever see me out, the pop-up shop is real. And always branding, but I do try to keep merchandise and looking for Pearl Girls. And I'm so honored because, as I tell people, I don't sell t-shirts. The idea is to really promote our mission, which is to educate, uplift, and empower. I only create a space for Black women to thrive. So if you like the t-shirts, if you like to wear, I can actually introduce you to a Black female entrepreneur who can help you to uplift your brand and get your product out there.
I love that, love that, love that.
We all we got.
That is so true. We have to be each other's keeper because no one else is.
Right.
You know, and women, like you said, we are more powerful than any other woman, any other nation.
I believe
we really are. When we're down and at our worst, we know how to pull ourselves back up and get things done. So that is truly a blessing. We're not going to stay down always. And, okay. Okay, so there were some people that I wanted to give honor to today. Miss Pinky, the owner of Slutty Vegan.
Yes.
Her
Pinky
and
Cole.
some partners, they actually took care of Rashad Brooks' 3 children. Their college education is paid for.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Clark Atlanta University. They got scholarships. They do not even have to worry about it. When they're ready to go to college, everything is already taken care of. Their tuition, their books, their home, where they're going to be staying, food, everything. And also, she donated a Ford Focus.
Wow.
To the wife of Rashad Brooks. I mean, our community is really stepping up. So I love my people.
Yes.
I love what we do, you know, in the midst of hard times. And that's just beautiful. So did you guys see that the young lady that torched the Wendy's, she has been arrested today. And this is going to be deeper, but before, you know, we get into that, got to pay some more bills. I'll be back. I'm Dr. Pat.
So many Black lives incarcerated. So many Black lives silenced. When will we stop the madness?
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
We're back, living in my purpose, and I am Dr. Pat. Once again, I have 3 remarkable women here with me. I have Ms. Juva Threet Alexander, author of the book, From the Pole to the Pulpit. I also have Miss Mercury Rising, author of the book, Men in My Bed. And not only, I have Miss Melanated Pearl herself, Miss Crystal Perry. These women are phenomenal. They're remarkable, and they are truly unforgettable. And we are going to put some things together to make a difference. And then if other states can piggyback on our initiative that we're doing, because it takes us to actually help.
Yep.
It really does. So much is going on. Breonna Taylor, still, those officers has not been arrested yet. Now, one of the detectives was actually fired, but that's not good enough. We need justice for the sister who was working hard to help people and ended up being in her bed just getting some rest and being murdered. These things have really got to stop. So we're going to go back over here to Miss Mercury Rising. Tell us your thoughts on the police brutality, the murders, and the officers walking out not wanting to do their job because one of their brothers in their brotherhood, who is really wrong, is arrested. So what do you think about that?
Police brutality. I think that it's been around for a long time. I think it's taken the place of the rope.
Oh, yes.
Basically, that's it. That's the news chain.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback on what you said, it's always been around. The only difference now is their cell phones.
Right.
So you, just like Big Brother think he's watching us all the time, somebody's watching them as well. What do you think about that, Miss Juva?
As far as the police brutality?
Yes, ma'am. And the killing of our people.
Unfortunately, it isn't anything new. And you're absolutely correct. The only thing is that we're now being able, or society is able to actually view it because people are capturing it on their cell phones. And it's hard. It's hard. It's always been hard. And nobody wants to necessarily live in fear of the police or anything like that. And but it's a harsh reality, and it's something that we've always just kind of faced. I think just about everybody that probably knows of somebody that just, that something that it's happened to somebody in their family or maybe happened to them. And it is, I think, even though this is happening and it's being exposed, I'm thankful for the exposure. Because if you don't address something, you don't address the problem, then you can't do anything about it. And I believe that there's a purpose in everything.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And there's so I believe that right now it is just the time for it. It is time for it to be exposed just as it has been. And I hate that people have lost their lives, and regardless of how difficult it seems and hard to process, it's a fact. It's a fact that it's happening. But we have to see it for what it is. It's like staring the ugly truth right in its face and being courageous enough to start some action, to do something about it. Now, as far as the police and how they're feeling, or, they're walking out, and, I'm pretty sure that they have a brotherhood, and I do not believe that all cops are bad.
Not at all.
All of them are doing all of this thing, because I know people in law enforcement. It is a job that I personally would not want to have.
Oh, no. I couldn't.
I wouldn't. And I believe that they serve a purpose. But we have to expose some stuff. So right now, what's going on, things are just being exposed. It's being exposed so that we can do something about it. The light needs to be shed all up on it, so that we can make some changes. Not just there in the police department, but it goes on a governmental level.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So, the exposure, yeah, when things are corrupt and things are happening behind the scenes, all of a sudden you shed some light on it, then you can do something about it.
Absolutely.
I think it's coming out right at the right time, because people at home, they can watch TV more. They're not just concerned about their everyday life. Well, I got to go to work. I got to pick up the kids from daycare. I got to go to school. I got to do my homework. They have time now to just sit down and rest. So, no, I can get up and go do something about this because I'm not working. It's easy for me to get up and go to the rally.
That's true. But I feel like we have a race war stirring up.
That's what they
and
want.
And it's not going to be good. It's not going to be nice.
I think, you know, one of the things that we have to remember to be gentle with ourselves. I know when we, you know, during the break, we talked about for a moment of self-care. But it's traumatic.
Yes, it
to
is.
actively watch. This is not a cartoon. People being killed on camera. We have multiple examples of it, as somebody said, with no edits. And somebody brought this to my attention that actually shows how much black bodies are devalued. You almost can't find videos of dogs dying. After this, go look it up. Go search Google of videos of dogs being brutally killed or animals in general. There are very few. Their activists out purposely making sure that animals are protected and that any videos showing any cruelty animals are taken out of our view. But that's not being done for black people. And again, as we are, you know, making way to the cameras and actually using them as a social justice tool, when these things happen and then they are portrayed in the media, no other place do we actually continue to just be inundated with images of black bodies over and over and over and over. And I think, again, as a mother of black boys, I always pray for those families because there's nothing they can do to literally stop their loved one's image from floating on the internet, on the TV, just at any time. And it's like ripping open a wound. So just, you know, and on top of police brutality, which I think in addition to the physical attack, the mental anguish that we are now waiting, okay, people have been arrested, but are we going to see justice served?
Right.
In a different situation with Breonna Taylor, we're waiting for people to even be arrested. The one cop who was arrested, when we start doing a character analysis of just that police officer, we see more than a few mistakes. That also is part of, to me, the brutality, because it's like, look how much they've been getting away with. Who is going to hold them accountable? And before we can even get one hashtag in the air, it seems to be another black body. That was the thing I think about Rayshard Brooks that struck me as I was having conversations with people about Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, you know, George Floyd. And then again, just countless others started to bubble up. Current people who are being murdered by the police. And then here in Atlanta, we get our own, you know, case where we again see somebody just not pausing to look at a person in a human manner. You know, regardless of all the facts, it is one human against another.
Right.
And as a person who is supposed to serve and protect, I would hope that in all interactions you're thinking, how do I get home safe, but how do I make sure this person gets home safe? And I just don't think that is happening in interactions with police and people who look like me.
It's true. I mean, we can leave here today and not make it home. And that's scary.
It is very scary.
I don't know if you guys been on YouTube, but Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
It's called 8:46. 8 minutes 46 seconds, where they had their knee on George Floyd's neck. 8:46 was the time he was born. And I mean, it's a little graphic, but the brother is just telling it like it is. I suggest everyone go to YouTube, look up 846 Dave Chappelle, because he's setting it straight. He's saying all the things that we want to say, I promise you, and don't really care. Guys, you have been remarkable. I thank y'all so much. Each one of you have touched my life in a different way. And you know what? When I have a bad day, I know I can call Melanated Pearl, because she's going to lift my spirit and let me see it a different way than I'm seeing it. I got Miss Juva, who I just met, but she got the best spirit, the godly spirit, the nurturing spirit. And then, of course, Miss Mercury Rising, so gentle, so sweet. Couldn't ask for a better person in the world. You guys, you make living in my purpose worthwhile.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Melanated Pearl.
Yes.
I've heard the saying, reach one, teach one. So you reached me today.
Oh, thank you.
And so I'll be teaching my 21 grandkids, which would be a start on how, if they decide to be an entrepreneur, of how things should go if you have your own business.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
my
you made
goodness.
me aware, so I'm going to make them aware.
See,
Oh, that is
thank you.
beautiful.
And that is where it starts, because as black women, we're the matriarchs.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Like you said, you got your grandchildren, and God, my grandmother's name was Nanny. She's been gone for 5 years. She still speaks to me, but when she spoke, we listened.
Yes.
And so that touched my heart, because when you say that, they are waiting on you to give the message.
Right.
Yes.
And I still to this day, because I know I grew up in the Pentecostal church. As I said earlier, I said, God, I don't care who tell it, just want to get told.
That's
the
right.
lessons from our ancestors, our grandmothers, those who came before, my grandmother's prayers are still blessing me right now. So as I've touched you, you touched me.
Yes,
but that's what we
ma'am.
do. We pour into each other.
Yes.
And again, that come from a place of love. So we all can get with Dr. Pat, and I will be reaching out for Professional Pearl. I said it out loud, so that means it has to be a thing.
It has to. It has to. Yes, ma'am, it has to.
Right.
Because if we don't,
Who will?
nobody else will.
Absolutely.
Somebody have to carry that torch.
Yep.
The older people, they're leaving here, they're dying out. So hopefully something that they have instilled in us and taught us, we can use that to further our generation. Because where they are now is not a good place at all, at all, at all. Any last remarks, Miss Juba?
Well, I want to just thank you all for thank you for the opportunity to come again this evening. It is always a pleasure to talk purpose, period.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think this particular conversation is needed, and there's a purpose even in it.
Yeah.
And so thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the dialogue. And it was a pleasure to meet you ladies. I wish that I could be there in person, but it was such a pleasure to meet you ladies. And I think that if we didn't do anything, we definitely planted some seeds this evening.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Miss Mercury Rising,
Yes.
any last words?
Well, I never even thought about black-owned businesses when I did my shopping. I thought about convenience. I'm going to go to between McDonald's and Burger King, which one is the closer? They're both selling burgers.
Right.
So, do I want to go to American Deli or Zaxby's? I go to what's closer for convenience. But now I'm going to have a conscious
Yes. Start
awareness
Yes.
to look for that black-owned business instead.
Absolutely.
Get that mom and pop
absolutely.
fried chicken from down the street.
For real. That's what I'm talking about, for real. Miss Melanated Pearl, what's your last thoughts?
I would just say we are each burdened with a purpose. If you are here with breath in your body, then you have something to contribute.
Yes.
You are important. I value you. Your contributions matter. Continue to be a pearl, a passionate, engaged activist resisting limits. Thank you, Dr. Pat, for always giving me a platform. And again, all this black girl magic, because I'm going to go home excited to do more. You know, I am the young whippersnapper in the group, if y'all ain't picked up on that. But I'm just thankful because it pours into me that allows me to pour into others. So thank you for living in your purpose.
You are more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Guys, if you want to reach out to me, you can go on TV 1061 and find Living in Your Purpose with Dr. Pat. Reach out to me. I would love to have you on. We can talk purpose, purpose-driven, living in your purpose, walking in your purpose, just purpose, because we need that. I thank you guys. I thank you for allowing me to come every week, 7 p.m., and talk about something that's happening. So I am Dr. Pat, and I'm living in my purpose. Have a good one.
Thank you.